All right, we're finally ready to start this live event. In the meantime, let me know if you can hear my voice properly. If you can hear everything, just type on the chat. If you want to have your CV reviewed by me here live so we can comment, we can have you and everyone else benefiting from the explanation. Let me just know that in the comment. And I have a bunch of CVs for many of you. And in case you want to have your CV analyzed, but you haven't sent me yet, please add me on LinkedIn. I'm gonna leave the link to my LinkedIn profile here. So so we can so I can have your CV. Let me look for the link. Okay, and I'm gonna paste it into the chat. Okay, so that's the link to send me your CVs. Let me know if you can hear properly, if you can see everything, and let's get started. We're gonna go through two different topics today. I'm super excited because I get to hear from you, so I get to answer your question. I'm here at your disposal today. And essentially, I would like to look at two macro areas, the two most important parts of the getting hired process, of landing the new job. The first one is the CV. I would like to go through some examples of CV that you sent me, and we're gonna see how they look and how we can improve them. The second part, I would like to go through some of the interviews questions from you. So any question that you would like to discuss, any question that you have been asked that was a little bit tricky, anything that you hear that you might be asked, please feel free to drop the question in the chat and we're gonna go through that. Very good. So I see here you can hear me well. Very well. Perfect. Again, if you haven't sent me your CV yet, LinkedIn, that's the link, and I think we can start. So let me see the chat. Who's the first? Now, please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. El Hassan, right? Is a El Hassan. Is that right? Am I so far? I'm gonna start with you. We connected early. You send me your CV. I have your CV already here. Let's start with you. So let me share the screen. Very well. So now you should be able. Very well. So now, perfect. You should be able to see my screen and to see the CV. Perfetto. Now, first reminder before jumping into El Hassan's CV. Let's take a look at which are our four main principles to make a very good resume. So type if you remember which are, and they are here as well. So, and if you remember from the previous webinar, the definition, what do they mean? Short, what does short mean? What is the maximum length of our CV? I'll leave you this for you in the chat to reply, and then we're gonna talk about that. In the meantime, I'm gonna explain a little bit more what clear means. Now, clear, it doesn't just refer to the readability of the CV, but it also, and most important, refers to how fast can I understand what is your value that you're bringing to the company. In other words, how fast can I understand your job title? And that's very important. So you see right under our name, very big, we want to put our job qualification, our job title. Why? Because during the process, when the HR people are looking at our CV, they're watching, they're looking at thousands of CVs every day. We want to make sure that they immediately understand what we can do and they put our CV in the proper pile of resumes. So that's clear, bam, right under our name, we want to have the job qualification. Numerical results, this is pretty tricky, pretty interesting. So numerical results express the fact that we want to put some numbers in our CV. Not just describing what we have done, but also put a quantity on what we have achieved. It could be the number of defects that we resolved. It could be the numbers of clients that we acquired. It could be the number of dollars that we generated or that we saved for the company, but we want some numbers. Fourth, and also very important, it doesn't have to be too much technical. Okay, so not too many acronyms, not too many specific names of equipment or other stuff. So we want to make sure that our grandmothers, if they look at our CV, they can more or less understand everything. With that being said, let me take a look at the chat. Perfect. With that being said, let's jump into the first CV. I have one question from Zaki. Sorry for asking, if you analyze the window. No, everyone. I will analyze everyone's CVs today. Everyone who wants to have his or her CV analyzed, just drop your name. If you haven't sent me your CV, just make sure that you send me that on LinkedIn. You can do that right now through the link, and I will analyze every CV. No problem, absolutely. Perfect. So number one, let's see, and drop your comment. What do you think about this CV? So first off, is it short? Let me see if you have any questions, any comments in the meantime. So is it short enough? What was the maximum length? It was 1 page. We want our CV to be 1 page and 1 page only, and this is actually 1 page, so that's very good. Then let's see, process engineer. You see, it's pretty clear. Okay, right under the name, process engineer. I like the picture, very nice, smiling, professional. I really like the picture. Process engineering, perfect. I know immediately, what is your qualification, what you're going to be doing for the company. And let's see, professional experience first, academic background second. And guys, this is extremely important. That's a very interesting part. If we have enough experience, if we have some internships, if we have some projects, practical projects that we did during the university, and that it's something practical, please, let's put our professional experience before our academic background. And you see, this is pretty smart because despite the fact that Elassane is not yet graduated, yes, 2020 today, so you see it's still in college, okay? So master, I would say, yeah. He has already put professional experience before because he had some internship. And this is something that I really suggest you doing. If you can, if you have enough internship, put that prior to your academical background. Why? Because companies are here for the real world work. Okay, they are of course interested in our academic background, but they are interested in knowing, can this person work? Does this person know what it's like to be there in the real world working? So that's very clever. Okay, then we have technical skills, soft skills, language. And by the way, guys, I am so impressed by so many of you. Like, it's so common through the CVs that I've seen to have people who can speak 3 or 4 languages. It's amazing. So congrats, absolutely, congrats. So very good languages, extracurricular activity. So I would say this is pretty well done. In my opinion, maybe I would choose probably some different colors, maybe, but still, it's pretty well done. And one very interesting thing, the only thing that I would definitely recommend to add are, as always, numerical results. That's the only thing that it's missing right now. So let's see how, because why numerical results are missing, and it's so common that they are missing, because when we start looking at a job, when we start, for the first time having some experience in the job market and in the job world, we didn't have enough time, to accumulate and to create that many numerical results. But during our internship, for sure, we have contributed to some projects, some broader projects. So let's put that right here. So for example, monitoring the following of heat exchangers. Very good. Design new heat exchanger for the... Okay, how many heat exchanger? What was the worth of the projects? For the project worthing $1 million, $2 million, $4 billion, $500,000, whatever. But put some numbers, some dollars. It's always very, very interesting. Familiarization with the refinery process. Good. If you could expand a little bit on that, let me think. So for example, which are the process that you have seen, type of material, the dimension of the refinery where you were, so that's always something that adds a little bit of context, some numbers that could catch the eye a little bit, refinery process for a refinery that was processing X, refinery of a capacity of X thousand gallons, liters, whatever, of product per day, for example. So heat exchangers, again, how many? What was the results? What was your outcome of the project? Okay, what was the outcome of all of these work that you have done? It's very nice. I like putting the little images for the logo, for the place where you have worked. Familiarization with the process enrichment of iron. Okay, and again, how big was the process? How big was the factory? Give me some number. Give me some context. That's something that could be interesting. And if you can find broader project that you have contributed, so you could say contributing to this project involving or saving project for X thousand of dollars. That's again very, very interesting. Then another thing, you see here, the academic background, it's not so long, okay, and that's very good. I would like you to spend time and space for your technical activities rather than your academic background. So it's very good. Just a couple of bullet points. I have a master. I'm going to have a master. Probably this is the description of the master, bachelor, and that's it. No more space. Then technical skills and soft skills. Okay, this is a question for you. We're gonna go that later. Question. And I want to give a bonus. I don't know. I'll think about the prize to whoever answered correctly. How can we choose the proper skills to put in our resume? How can we choose which are the 3, 4, 5 technical skills and the 2, 3, 4 soft skills that we want to include in our resume? Let's assume we have 10, 15 different skills that we have acquired throughout the years, but we only have space for 4, okay? How can you choose, and what would be the process that you would think about to choose the 4, 5 skills to include? Let me know in the comment, and I'm gonna talk about that. And yeah, I wanna give a prize if I see a good answer. Okay, let me jump back to all right. Herasen, let me know, is there anything else that you would like to know about your CV? Any points that you would like me to expand? In the meantime, let's see if we have other comments. Let's see. Frel grande. Okay, so we have Zaki, our next one in line, and I don't wanna miss anyone. So let me get. Okay, any question? Let me see. From the job description. From the job description, bravissimo. Okay, perfect, very good, guys. Mohamed, Abdelkander, very good. So not only from the job description, that's our first stop, but also from the company website. Okay, we should go through job description, use the word clouds. Zaki, very good. That's perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. So, as you remember from our previous webinars, we have multiple places. So, as you all said very correctly, the first place we want to analyze the job description of the job that we're most interested. Then we want to look for many other similar job descriptions. Let's see the process here. Okay, what my audience wants. So job descriptions, many job descriptions. We want to go to the company website. So we want to see which are the values that they are interested into, and we want to connect on LinkedIn to people who are in the same job. So that's another important part, connecting and using the network. Not just connecting to the recruiters in the company, to the HR people, but also, and maybe even more important, connecting to people who are in similar roles of the one that we would be interested into. We can connect with them and we can ask them, hey, how did you get the job? What are some qualities that are important for this job? If you had to choose some skills, which would say that are the most important for what you do? And again, you'll be surprised by how many people will actually take some time to reply to you. Not all of them, but you will find a very good amount. So, Zaki, Mohammed, Abdelkander, very good. Congrats. Yes, I will think some prize for you guys. Okay, so Abdelkander, let me know. Did you want also to have your CV analyzed? Let me see. I think I received something. So let's see. Okay. So let me send me again your CVs on LinkedIn, so I have them immediately here. So because it was a very nice answer and Zaki expanded well, let me look if I already have your CV, Zaki. No, let me see, maybe. Okay, Zakaria. All right, here we go. Perfect. Very good. Okay, now let me go back here. So now you should be able to see. Perfect. Now you should be able to see Zaki's CV. Oh, actually, I remember that I analyzed already Zakaria's CV. I think this is the last one that you sent me. If this is not the last one, just let me know, please. Okay, so I already have like some comments on this. So it's a pretty interesting format. I like it. So it's okay, like to have the picture. I'm a very big fan actually of the CV that are divided into two parts: the main body, a little bit bigger, and the little column that you can use for languages, skills, and everything else. So as we see here, First thing that I would love to add is the qualification/job title. This is missing now. It's very important, and yeah, and I would definitely add that. Then the little column, that's perfect. You see we have also more space, you know, to expand. Work experience, I would say, let's see. Yes, perfect. I would say let's put the work experience first. Then about me. That's a very interesting thing. That's another important section of our CV. So graduated from the facility of hydrocarbons, specialized in the sector of production engineering. Perfect. So one thing that I've noticed throughout the CV that we can easily do, and it could be very interesting upgrade. You see how many times words like a lot, several, different. You see how many times some, I think there is here, some. Okay, all of these words can be changed with quantifier. Let me know how many. 3, 4, 5 different internship in 3, 4 different companies covering X, Y, Z projects. You see how it changes. Organize several events and workshops. Bam, how many? Tell me how many. How many people attended? What were the skills that you acquired throughout, you know, this organization work? For sure, maybe you have to present. Maybe you have to engage with the speakers. Probably. So, you know, negotiation skills. You had some interpersonal skill, which are the skills that are more required from the job description. Bah, let's use them. So exactly, you see, improving my soft skills and hard skills. Okay, how did you engage with the speaker? Did you present? Did you deliver some webinars as well? So you see, you can expand on that. There is a lot of material we can absolutely work. And again here, during the internship, some quantifier, getting closer to the petroleum industry. Okay, how? There was any interesting equipment throughout the industry that you maybe were familiar with. So, for example, the drilling process and drilling equipment. Bam, that's interesting. Or visiting some well site, visiting or working in a refinery or in a production site. So, I think that here we can expand a little bit more. And again, as also our previous student, what was the dimension? What was, you know, give me some number of the so LNG. Okay, you were in an LNG plant. Perfect. What was the dimension of this LNG? The capacity, the project that you work. How many dollars was that project? You know. And again, putting some quantifier here. Okay, yes, and then I think you can use here this column a little bit more. And the very last thing that I would like to add is here in the About Me section. That can be another interesting section where we can sprinkle a little bit of keywords that we found in our job descriptions, company websites, and connecting with people. So here can be, you know, you can put some other skills and keywords. So I hope it helps. Zach, let me know if you have more questions. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Let me see. So So that's what we have. Thanks for the feedback. What about adding the bio, the bio link in description? So I think I think you were mentioning, Helasen, you were mentioning, what about adding the bio like description? So yes, because here you have it. So adding something like this, like an about me. Yes, I would definitely recommend to add this section, because it could be not too long. Like this, it's pretty okay. 3-4 lines, you know, something like that. So yeah, definitely add that, and try to insert some keywords in your about me description. Hope that helps. Perfect. So Abdelkander, you will be the next one. And let me see. So, okay, here we go. Perfect. Let's go here. Let me zoom in a little bit more, and let me share my screen again. So wait, let me fix this. So let me share. I want to share just one screen. Let me do this again. I'm sorry, guys. All right. So let me just share the screen with you. Okay. So now you should be able to see everything. Okay. Ah, yes, that's a pretty good comment. Very good, actually. I thought about that, and then I didn't mention it. You see here in our in Zach's resume, you see that we have bachelor degree before master's, and maybe September, January, July. Yeah, you see, it's extremely important. Actually, sorry, because I forgot to mention this. It's extremely important here to put the experience and the education in counter chronological order, which means from the most recent first to the furthest in time after. And here again, the most recent thing first, and then the rest later. That's a pretty good note, and thank you for making that. Okay, let's see, Mohammed, drilling engineer. All right, 1 page. That's good. Then drilling engineer, perfect. So we have it's clear. Let's see the description. Highly motivated, work person. Okay, you see, for example, this is an example of how we can use the about section to describe and tell a little bit of a story about ourselves, including a lot of keywords that probably were in the job description. So creative, highly motivated. Okay, I'm very interested in drilling and directional drilling operation. That's very interesting, because drilling engineer, that's already targeted to a niche, it's also even more targeted. You know, directional drilling operation. Very good. You're like, I have clear what I want to do. Drilling, well service, well stimulation. Recently, very interesting. For example, this one here, this part, what you have done. This part can very much likely go here in professional experience. By the way, I would put your professional experience before your education, I would say. So for example, this project here, a well-controlled alerting system. How big was the well? What was the results? If you could put some numbers and some context for this, I think it would be a killer line in the resume, because it's something targeted, something cool, something important that you have done. So I would definitely suggest you to try to find some numbers on this part. Okay, perfect. Yes. So for example, if we see that this is the description is too long, for example, if we want to shorten the description a little bit, we can easily remove this part. It's important. It's okay, because you're describing yourself, and it's okay if we have space. Otherwise, you could maybe put a little bigger font and remove these 2 lines, but as you prefer. It's okay. It's okay. Then again, I'm a pretty big fan of the 2, let's say 2 columns resume. I think it's pretty clear, and I like it. Let me go first through your professional experience. So internship, perfect. Obtain an overview of the instrumentation of the rig system. Well controlled, exactly, and this is the project that you were mentioning before. If you can add numbers to both of these, and guys, how many times have you heard me just in these last, how long is it, like 30 minutes? How many times have you heard me saying numbers? But that's so important. And please feel free, what would you add or what would you remove to Mohammed's resume? I think it's also pretty important to have a discussion about that. And also, don't forget, if you have some interview questions that you would like to me to go through and to analyze, again, use the chat, and we can talk about that. So, what are your comments on the CVs that we are seeing, and if you have any questions about the job interviews questions? Okay, going back. So numbers, then oil and gas industry. Okay, I think here we should be a little bit more specific. So for example, what did you do? Well log interpretation. So for example, did you have some projects? How many log did you analyze? That's something. That's something that I think it could be interesting. Then let's see. Certificates. That's very important. Again, 3 languages, guys. You're amazing. MATLAB, computer skills. I love all of this. I think it's well done. The skills and which skills you have used. I think it's pretty well crafted. Okay, let's see what else. What else do we have? Perfect. Any other question on this resume? Let's see. In the meantime, on the chat, what we have. I've seen that you sent me some other resumes, so I'm gonna go through that a lot. Perfect. Yes, that's pretty nice comment. Very good, guys. I really love your comment. I really love the involvement. Perfect. Let's see. Let's see who's gonna be the next resume. Let's see. Okay. see if I can put it here. Okay. Very well. And then here, like this. Okay, let me know if you can. Okay, now you should be able to see me and the CV, right? Very good. Let's see. Elnur. And again, I'm very sorry if I mispronounce some of your name, guys. I'm very bad. All right. Petroleum engineer student. Interesting point here. Francesca, I'll send you my templates. And by the way, this is for everyone. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat real quick. If you want my CV templates, just shoot me a note on LinkedIn, and I'll send you my resume templates. They're gonna be PowerPoint templates, and yeah, and you can use them, you can modify them, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so going back to our Elnur, petroleum engineer student. Let me see. When are you going to graduate? I think 2018 present. I think that you're going to graduate pretty soon. So I would actually just put petroleum engineer here, a little bit bigger, maybe even using another color, to create some contrast with the black of the name. You can remove this part, I think, because then it's gonna be clear here, which was your university. Then, passionate petroleum engineer students seeking to increase knowledge and professional skills, attending university classes, self-study. I use the opportunity to sharpen my skills. Okay, so the profile. It's okay in the sense that you're conveying very much the idea that you're passionate on what you're doing. What I would suggest you to do is, as we saw in the previous, for example, description, I would suggest you to go looking for some skills, top skills and hard skills, so technical skills that are required by the job, and put that in your profile. So, for example, passionate about petroleum engineers, seeking an interesting job opportunity, experienced in, for example, in drilling techniques, or experience in refinery projects. So, what was, for example, your master thesis about? What was the biggest technical skill that you acquired in your academical and in your academical path, in your academical journey, and put that very big hard skills in your CV. I give you, for example, my case. During the university, we had done a lot of interesting projects on two main areas. One was much hard skills, so because I'm a mechanical engineer. One was, designing, technical designing, finite elements, modeling and analysis, and all of that. And the other part was flux optimization. I've done a big project on an Amazon warehouse. So it was much more related to management engineering, which is then the path that I've chosen to go. So in my description, I put broad experience and knowledge on management engineering, in particular flux analysis, layout optimization of plants. And that was very interesting, because that was, for example, one of the reasons why I got the interview for my first job at Ferrari. So very interesting. Try to find some hard skills, very technical skills that you know that it's marketable, and put it in your profile. For the rest, work experience, okay, interesting. That's a nice example of where we want to put education before work experience. As you remember, I've always told you, let's put work experience before education. But in this time, the work experience is not directly related to the kind of work that our student is looking for. So it's very good to highlight better the university and education part, and then put some work experience in order to say, okay, this is not what I am going to do for your company, but this is the proof that I'm someone who's self-motivated, who wants to achieve results, who is not scared about working, you know. So that's good. Definitely keep it, and educational first. What I would suggest you to do here is find one or two projects that are very similar to real world project and describe them a little bit. Use one bullet point for one or two bullet points here. Substitute them with a very interesting project that you have done. For the rest, again, I'm always so amused by how many languages you guys speak, and yeah, it's good. I would maybe advise you to use some a little bit lighter colors, you know, yeah, just to pop up to the eye a little bit more. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other question in the meantime. Let's see the chat. So Miguel, when apply to a company via digital, which of the two CV formats should I send? The visual or the word? Okay, interesting question. Now, I forgot to get something to drink. My throat is so dry. So Miguel's questions, very interesting. When I am applying through the digital way, should I use the visual resume or the word resume? Guys, try to answer this question. Anyone in the chat, try to answer this question. If you are applying online, for example, I guess Miguel, you mean by, for example, through the company website, something like that. What would you guys do? Then I'm going to articulate a little bit more on this answer. But let me know your opinion. What would you do? Would you use a Word type of resume, or would you use a resume, like the ones that we have seen till now, a visual resume? Let me know in the chat. As soon as I have a couple of reply, then we're going to read that, and I'm gonna answer your question, Miguel. Let's see what else we see in the chat. Perfect. Okay, we have another job interview question, which is from Elsahen. How would you contribute to SIB business, to our business in a specific country? Reply in 1 minute. How would you respond? How would you contribute? Okay. I will, let's address this question because it's pretty interesting. Let's see if I also can show you some slides that can perfect. Okay, I think this is something. So a lot of these questions. Here we go. Okay. This is a pretty good slide, I think. Tell me something about you. Now, if you twist this question a little bit more, this question can be the answer to so many other questions. and we will see in a second. So how would you contribute in the business? When I ask you, tell me something about yourself during a job interview, I am implicitly already asking you, like, how would you contribute here? So how can we operate to answer this question? Before the job interview, we have visited the company website. We have checked the job descriptions, so we know what the company wants. So what is the sector in which the company operates, for example, and in a specific country. So here, for example, we have taken some information about the country as well. I'm sorry, guys. So we have taken some information about the country as well. Then we also, so for example, we know which is the geopolitical situation of the country. Unfortunately, oil oftentimes is located in areas where political situation is not stable. So for example, now we have a couple of projects in Yemen. And for example, I'm in logistics. I need to organize the shipments of explosive material to a war zone, which is Yemen. So you can imagine, how big and how many difficulties you have. Explosive, of course, not for war, but for the drilling operations. But again, you're still shipping explosive to a war zone. So if you're applying for a specific country, for sure you know something about that country, and you know what they want, what are the geopolitical situation, and also in general the situation on that country, and you know what are your skills. So what you studied, what were your internships, and your skills that technical skills that you acquired that can match what the company wants. So in this case, in 1 minute, I would tell something. Yes, I think that I would be a good fit for this job because I know that you, from what I've understood, you are looking for a person who has this skill, these other skills, and who's also knowledgeable about this country, because we're going to operate in this country. And we know that we have, for example, these difficulties and these other difficulties. And this is all study that you have done before the job interview. And then here you add, and you say, I think that I would be a good fit because I have these skills that actually match what you're looking for, and I'm knowledgeable in this other part. I think that I still don't have, for example, enough knowledge about the specific equipments or the specific hierarchy and composition of your organization, but given my background, given my experience, and given how motivated I am, I think that I can succeed and I can bring value to your company. So you see, it's just a different twist on tell me something about yourself. And here, the very important phase is how much and how well you have prepared yourself before the interview. That's why it's so important to study multiple job descriptions, to study the company website, to document ourselves a little bit before the interview. I hope this helps. In the meantime, let me see let's go back to the previous question, which was which kind of resume should I use? Word resume or visual resume? Let's see your answer. Mohamed says, I would use a Word type for online applications. We also have, I guess I could send my visual CV, PDF, via digital if the company, and if the company uses an ATS system, then I would send that in Word format. Love this answer. Let me see if we have other answers. Okay, so Abdelkander, you nailed it. So, and this is a very important question because there is always some doubt when we are applying online. So my suggestion would be, if during the application we had to compile and to fill some modules, okay, you remember in many applications they make us, redo online our CV basically. Tell me all of your job qualification, tell me your experience, and you need to input and to fill questionnaire with all of that. If we had to do that, and then at the last part they tell us, okay, attach your CV, in that case you can be sure that you can attach your visual CV, because all of the information that they needed in terms of just in terms of online information, they already had us filling the modules and filling the forms, so that's okay. Then, if we are applying, if we don't have any red flag in the job description, so for example, if they say, okay, attach your resume, and that's it, I would definitely go for the visual CV. I would go for the ATS proof CV, for the Word CV, just in case we saw some red flags. For example, attach your resume in Word format, or attach your resume, but please do not send JPEG format. Okay, these are all red flags that there might be an ATS. Then we Google the name of the company that we are applying and we ask, is the company XYZ using an ATS system, applicant tracking system? And we see what Google says. So if we find some posts or some clues that might, make us think that they're using an ATS, okay, then go for the Word format. Otherwise, 90% of the time, we are going to use our visual CV. So very important question. Thank you for asking that. And thank you guys for replying and commenting and articulating on that. Let's see. And Zaki, yes, nice question. Your nice answer, yours as well. I've recently made my CV. The most difficult thing that I faced is which course? Other very interesting question from Mohammed Osama. I have recently made my CV, and the most difficult thing I faced is which courses, which classes should I include in my CV? Very interesting point, very interesting thing to address. As we said, we want to be as practical and as pragmatic as possible, which means we want to tell the company and give the company what the company wants. And again, it's valid for the job interview, it's valid for the CV. So when it comes to choose which are the courses and the classes that we want to include in our resume, we let the companies tell us which they are. How? Through the job descriptions, through the company website where we see what they're interested about. So for example, and I give you my example again, first job applying for Ferrari, I saw that in the job descriptions, they were mentioning something about continuous improvement, lean manufacturing, plant optimization. Perfect. So I said, okay, I have a very interesting project and a very interesting classes that I've taken on this matter. Let me add these points to my CV. So I would add the course that I've taken. So with important topics that were covered, and I would also add the projects with the results, and putting the project as if the project was a full-time job. So okay, with a start, with the achievement that you had, and so on. So choose the experiences and the classes, the courses, closer to what the company is looking for, and do that using the job description. I hope that this helps. Okay, let me see. Okay, so let me address this, and please guys, feel free to add other question. I know that I should have some other one that send me the CV. So Elsen, I see your question. I'll get there in a second, because now let's focus on the next CV. So Saddam, I think, yes, you're next. Very good. Okay. Here we go. Very well. Okay, let's go through Saddam's resume. Let's see. Another interesting part. You see here we don't have a picture, which is good as well. You know, you don't have to put a picture. And many people ask me, should I put a picture? Should I not put a picture? And my answer is that do whatever you want. Whatever you feel more confident and more comfortable in doing, go for it. Because nothing changes, like for real. We had why nothing changes? Because if a if a recruiter likes you, the first thing that the recruiter will do is he or she is gonna, they're gonna go on LinkedIn, they're gonna type our names, and they're gonna see our pictures. So whatever you want to do, it's not important. So engineer, it's a little bit too vague. Okay, which kind of engineer? So I would articulate a little bit more. Seeking an opportunity with an established organization where I can use skills and learn. Okay, here I would add something as I mentioned in our previous CV. Okay, same comment applies. I would add one or two, even one hard skill that you have. So here we want to put something, through the job descriptions, you will find which are the most required skills. Take the first one, the most required ones, and add that here. So for example, they are all looking for someone who has experience in drilling sites. Perfect. You are petroleum. Perfect. So here put petroleum engineer. So here you would say petroleum engineer with hard skills and solid background in drilling operation, or in refinement process, or in liquefaction, LNG technology. Find the thing that you're most skilled and that it's most required by companies, and put it here. It has to be something personal, because this is good, but this is too generic. It's too wide, too broad. Then let's see. Here I see, for example, a very interesting comment. Yes, please do connect with people in the job market that you're looking for to enter. And on the LinkedIn question, we're gonna go back very soon there. I'll have something else to add. Perfect. So we have survey researcher. Talking about Yemen. And by the way, I hope everything is good on your side, man. Okay, so for example, here, what we can do is we can try to insert some numerical results. It was probably 15 minutes that I didn't mention numerical results. I mention it right now. Please do add some numerical results. For example, create and updated physical records and digital templates to maintain current compliant documentation. Perfect. How many documents are we talking about? What was the situation before? How is the situation right now? Something that you can do, for example, for these, this is a tricky thing that you can do to add some numerical results. There was a situation before and after. So to go through this documentation, before someone should go through physical records, okay? Now everything is digital. So before, to find a document, you needed a certain time. Now you need much less time. Okay, how much time do you save right now for each search? You would have something. For example, let's say we save, let me take the calculator. We save, for example, 10 minutes for search, for example. Okay, how many searches do people do every day? I don't know, 2 searches, for example, for these documents. Okay, how many people search every day? Okay, maybe, I don't know, in the organization, 100 people look for that every day. So it's 10 minutes, 2 times a day for 100 people. It's 2,000 minutes that you saved. Okay, 2,000 divided by 60, for example, you save a comprehensive 33 hours. Now, how much is it an hour of work? It depends on the country. I don't know, for example, if it was the United States, we could put like $60, something like that. It varies so much because it's not the money that the people get. It's the money that the company spends for those people, which is always like 2 or 3 times the hourly pay of those people. So you would have saved, for example, $2,000, you know, like that. You would have saved $2,000 a day. So you multiply on a month and you see how much money you have saved with this optimization process. So please do that. Find the time that you have saved for the people. Find the number of people that you are saving time and estimate the dollars that are saved to the organization, because now instead of wasting time looking for documents, they can do other things that add value. This is very interesting. Every time, guys, that you have an optimization process, this is a good way to estimate the potential savings that you have created. Then assisted coworkers, staff member. Okay, again, try to find some other numerical results. And yes, expand a little bit more. The completed in-depth reviews of market conditions, the customer preference. But okay, no, I like it. I like it. For how many customers? How big was the company? You know, articulate more. You have a very interesting. Job description here. Articulate a little bit more. Okay. Now I want to go back to the question on LinkedIn. So we had a question saying, here we go. How to deal with LinkedIn connection, who to ignore and who to add, let's say, when asking for information. So if you want to ask for information, I would definitely suggest you and recommend you go and you add people who are in the same role or in similar roles to the one that you're interested. So for example, petroleum engineer, look for petroleum engineer for some companies that you would like in certain areas that would be probably close to you. And you know, on LinkedIn, you can look at the academical background and the work background of the person. So, you know, choose the ones that you like the most and you feel that you can relate the most, and shoot them a message and ask for something. Another thing is, how should I deal with connection? Who to add, who not to add to my network. So when we start improving our LinkedIn, we don't have many connections. So we need to expand. What I would recommend you do is go to some groups that are related to your field. So petroleum engineer groups, groups of engineers in your area, and engage with people in the group, see the discussion, and add people from that group. Then look for people in your same industry and add all of them. Do you need to know someone to add this person on LinkedIn? No. Just go ahead. If the person seems an interesting profile, add that person to your connections. And that's very important, especially at the very beginning, to grow a little bit of community, to grow a little bit of your network, and to get some input and some inspiration, let's say, from what is happening in the industry. So yeah, go ahead, and that's pretty important. Professional, something that I struggle to find job, LinkedIn that fit me. Can you help me? So something that I struggle with, find job offers through LinkedIn. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. You know, job offer through LinkedIn. Do you mean like finding job posting from companies, or you mean having recruiters directly looking for you? Because having someone directly looking for you and offering you a job on LinkedIn, it's something that comes with time. You need to already have a work, developing some specific skills, and grow your network. That's something that usually helps, and it's hard to have recruiter reaching out for you at the very beginning. If you mean instead finding some job description that fits you, I would definitely recommend to subscribe and follow each company that you would like to work for. Go there, there is a section that is work and job openings, and go there. At the same time, monitor all the company website directly from their website to see if other job descriptions and some job opens. Okay, let's keep on going through the chat. Okay, on the connection, should I focus on HR managers for different from different jobs and job titles? So if you want, yes, add the HR manager. But what I would definitely recommend you do is adding people who are doing that job, not HR, people who are actually in that job, and ask for advice from them. So they will not give you a job, but they will give you some very valuable insights on the job. If I want to know which are the most important skills and the most important areas that I should focus on, if I want to be in logistics, for example, I'm not gonna add the HR of the company that I want to apply for. I'm gonna add someone who's in logistics, who has experience, and who can actually tell me something about the real day-to-day job. So that's what I would do to get information. Then, of course, I would add the HR just to have this person on my network and maybe connect with him and sending him my resume and look if they have some opportunity. But when we are in the information gathering phase, we want to add people that are actually doing the job. So, perfect. I'm glad, Mohammed, to see that you're adding some numerical results to your CV. let's see. It's okay to have different names on LinkedIn. My document name is Mohammed Osama, but I use my family name, which is unique and easy to find. Okay, perfect. Yes, that's a very interesting question, Mohammed. So, which name should we use? So, I would say you don't have to use the name that is on your ID, on your document. For example, so for example, your case, your family name, which is unique and easy to find. Yes. And my document name is Mohammed Osama, but I have my family name, which is Mirza Osama Baik. So perfect. I would definitely use, that's your family name. That's something, that it's you still. So the important thing is go for the name that you prefer, but but you need to match the name on your CV and on your application with the name that is on your LinkedIn. It doesn't matter if it's a if then it's a name, if then that name is your name, okay, on the document. What is important, the two names have to match. Very good. Let me see if we can go through one last CV. Yours, yes. Let's go through your CV. Mohammed Osama. So for example, yes, here. Let me share. Okay. And in the meantime, if you have any last question that I will go through after this, after Mohammed resume, and then yeah, our how much did we do for the moment? Yes, a little bit, an hour 15. Yes. Who's still there? Are you still alive? By the way, let's do a, let me see a sanity check. Do we still have someone? Yes, we do. All right. So let me go through Mohammed resume. So one page, good. I would add here, what is missing is the job description, the job qualification. So okay, petroleum engineer, mechanical engineer. I don't know what kind of engineer are you? Let me see. You see, for example, here I'm struggling. For example, here I'm struggling in seeing which is the oh my god, maybe I'm tired, but let me see the the job petroleum engineers. Okay, so you see how much, how long it takes. So for example, I think here we can do a better job. And Mohammed, I'm gonna send you my resume, my visual templates, so you can go ahead and use that. Okay, sorry, you see I'm very, education was here. Petroleum and gas engineer. Perfect. Put that big right under your name. That's good. Okay, you can put it here. Professional experience, summer internship, and academic experience, which is okay. Yes, I would definitely say what you have here is okay. What I would like you to do is to come up with something that looks a little bit more like this, okay, or a little bit more like, sorry, like this. You see, because now, can you see my screen? Can you see that? No. Let me do this. Okay, now you can see it. Okay, so I would say something that looks a little bit more like, so now we are in this part here. Oh, okay, of course it's a much more complete, but you know, it's not super clear what we have now. It's not super easy to read, let's say. So you see, it's not super easy to read. So what I would suggest is I'm gonna pass you my templates so you can use the content of this CV and put it in my templates, which is a little bit more readable. Perfect. Another thing that it's missing here, for example, are numerical results. 150 hours. So, for example, that's something that we like. Okay. So yes, definitely try to dig a little bit on the job descriptions. Try, Mohammed, to look for 4 different job descriptions and use the job descriptions to find the interesting keywords. Then you have the keywords, you have your experience, okay? And use the resume, the templates that I'm gonna send you on LinkedIn to put this in a little bit more compelling form, okay? And again, I see here it's Mohammed Osama. On LinkedIn, you have your other name. Try to match the 2 names, okay? Now, let's get some of your questions, and then we are going to be done, and hopefully this has been useful for you guys. Let's see. Okay. Due to conflicts, some countries, petroleum engineer job opportunity hard to find. Yeah, exactly. So, for example, that's a very straight to the point answer. Thank you, Saddam, who's saying, you know, about the difficulties in finding job. You know, because of some geopolitical situation, because of some conflicts, sometimes it's hard right now to find a petroleum engineer and petroleum jobs. You know, petroleum related jobs. This is a very nice, interesting. So some petroleum engineers in some specific countries, they also work for NGOs, which is a very, very interesting field. So yes, that's something else that you can look for. So if the private sector it's a little bit stuck for the moment, you can go for NGOs, and you can also go for government companies or government work. Okay, let me see. Regarding this, I don't have too much inside. Let me see. Saddam is saying, due to conflict in some countries for petroleum engineers job opportunity, it's hard to find. So which sector are more related to petroleum engineering? Okay, sorry, I thought I didn't. Sorry, Saddam, I didn't mean that. I didn't catch that there was a question. I thought that there was a that's a question. So if in some countries, because of geopolitical situation, we have problems, yes, definitely try to go for NGOs, for non-government organization, and also it depends on the situation, but also there could be some work in the public sector, so in government jobs, because if the situation is critical, maybe companies, private companies are blocked, but there's going to be for sure job in the government job, and also NGOs job. NGOs are extremely interested as a field and also extremely sellable. Once you have some experience in a non-government or even no-profit organization, that's something that builds up a lot on your CV. So please go for that if you can, and if you don't have any other alternatives that you like. So third year, so I don't have professional experience. What can I do? You can take the courses that you've done during your university, Mohammed, and you can find some hard skills and some numerical results on the projects that you have done for your university, and also try to find the most interesting topics that you have studied during your university that are related to the job descriptions of the companies that you want to apply for. So that's very, very, very interesting and something that you can do. Guys, I think that I definitely, it's 1.5 hours. I definitely think that I need to drink a little bit. So it was a pleasure, guys, to be here with you. I really, really love the interaction on the chat. You have my LinkedIn. Shoot me some extra questions if you have. I'll do my best to answer to all of you. I'm gonna send you my visual templates to any one of you who's interested. And guys, thank you so much. I hope that this was helpful. If you want to help me out a little bit, you can subscribe to my channel. You can share the link to the YouTube channel in order for many more people to benefit from this. With that being said, Pietro out. I'm very, very glad, and I wish you a very pleasant rest of your day. Guys, thank you so much. And I'll see you very soon. As always, fai a modino.